What do you get when you head out to sea to go fishing for the world's best lobster and to find the best way to cook that lobster? The answer? Lots of flavor on Food Country. Prince Edward Island floats in some of the most pristine waters on the globe, waters that support a thriving lobster fishery and fishermen like Francis Morrissey, who invited me to go fishing with him out of Seacow Pond Harbor. Now, like any good guest on a PEI lobster boat, I've brought with me the standard price of admission, a bottle of rum. You know, I've done this a million times before. I've been out to sea lobster fishing more times than I can remember, but it's always a good time. And I've never actually been out with Francis either, so you never quite know what to expect.
Basically, you come out to the fishing grounds and you set off your sets, and you don't put them all in one area, you spread them out over an area. And most fishermen have areas where they go back to year after year. And once they're set, you leave them overnight, and then the next day when you come out to fish, you pick up those colored buoys that are at each end of the set, bring them aboard, take the good lobsters out, the females and the undersized ones, return them to the water, put new bait on your traps, and basically what we call it is run the traps off, or take them back off, and they go back down to the sea, and then you'll fish them again the next day.
This is old bait, stinky bait. We need fresh bait, but the gannets love this stuff. Here they come. Look at that, the way they dive. That's so cool. These things get gigantic. This is a sculpin. You find these in the traps all the time. They're not that good eating though, really, so he's gonna swim another day. See ya! I gotta ask you something now. Do you eat lobster yourself?
Yes.
Do you? You like lobster?
Yeah.
You eat a lot of lobster?
My share?
Every day?
No.
No, me neither. I don't think I'd be into it after.
If you ate it every day, it wouldn't be a treat.
True.
No.
And how do you like your lobster? Like, how do you cook lobster?
I boil, but I like mine cold. I leave them set for a day in the refrigerator.
Well,
a lot of people make a mistake with lobster when they cook it and they put it in the refrigerator. Should always turn it on its back after it's cooked, so it'll retain its juices. And make sure that you cover the dish that it's in with plastic, because if you don't, the refrigerator will dry the moisture out of the lobster, and the meat will stick to the shell, and it's not as good.
This is good advice.
Always put your lobster on its back in the refrigerator afterwards, and it'll hold its juices, and the juices will take the flavor of the meat.
So, boil it.
Boil it.
In seawater, refrigerate it till it's cold, upside down on its back, covered
with saran wrap or plastic.
So the refrigerator doesn't
won't dry it out.
That's how a fisherman cooks a lobster. Lobster connoisseurs actually prefer female lobsters because female lobsters come with a bonus. Sometimes they have the roe, the eggs. So how do you tell the difference between a male and a female lobster? It's actually kind of easy. You flip them over, you look at the first set of legs. On the male, those legs are stiff and hard and big like that. Let's see, there's another male, stiff and hard, that first set. And on a female, they're small and wispy. That's a female lobster. There just might be roe in there, and that's why the female lobsters taste best. So the DFO's on us. This can't be a good thing. We've just been boarded by the DFO, the Department of Fisheries officers, and he's going to check and make sure that we don't have any small lobsters on board, because if we do, we could lose our license, and if we have too many of them, we could actually lose the boat. The lobster fishery off Prince Edward Island is one of the best managed and sustainable fisheries in the world. Our fishermen know that their long-term success depends on respecting the rules, scientific limits on the size of the lobsters that ensure enough breeding stock remain for the future. We get to keep on fishing?
We get to keep on fishing.
We passed. All right.
As long as these fellas are around, our resources stay healthy.
And this is all about managing this fishery. We don't want this thing to disappear overnight, so we're all in this together.
If something happens to lobster fishery on PEI, it becomes a ghost town.
It's kind of a partnership.
Yeah, it is a partnership. Did you know that lobsters are actually very healthy? That's right, they're low in fat and carbohydrates and high in protein and nutrients. In fact, lobsters have become Canada's most valuable fishery. These tasty crustaceans are worth close to $1 billion annually. Many are shipped live to market, and just as many are processed onshore at plants like Royal Star Foods in Tignish. Of course, they cook a few more lobsters here than I do at home. So 20 to 30,000 pounds of lobsters a day, that's what you're cooking?
In the height of production, yeah.
That's more lobster than I've cooked in my entire career. That's a lot of lobster.
You start seeing them in your sleep after a while.
Chasing you in. Yeah, I saw one around here before. There's, I don't know, maybe it was a dream, but there's a big one around here somewhere. So this is the cooling tank, and it's just as important to take the heat out of the lobster quickly as it is to get it into the lobster. In other words, we don't want to overcook these lobsters. So once the lobster's cooled down, then what happens to it?
It either goes directly to the processing line to be frozen in salt water for a popsicle pack, or we send it to the meat line where it's sectioned off and the meat is shucked and packed into different packs for different customers.
And that's what's going on out here. All these girls are out there shucking and sorting and pulling all the meat.
Yep.
So let me ask you something. Of everybody that's working today, who's the fastest worker on the floor?
You're gonna get me in trouble.
So her name is Marlene, and she's the fastest processor in the whole building.
She is.
Maybe I should go head to head with her.
I think you should.
You think she can take on the hot shack chef?
I think she can.
All right, let's go meet Marlene then.
Okay.
Marlene is the fastest processor in the entire plant. Marlene shucks lobsters faster than anybody on Prince Edward Island. And I think we're about to prove that. So what do you say?
One,
Two,
three,
go! Oops. Marlene, slow down. Oh, I got one. Oh. You're not done yet. Yay! All right. Well, thanks for showing me around today. I'm heading home to cook off some more of these.